stand on my tippy toes in heels to hug you.
Yeah, I'm a real big monster.
You are a tall drink of water.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. I'm such a fan of yours, and I enjoyed this book so much.
Thank you.
Actress of a Certain Age.
Yes, actress of a certain age. It's all about my sort of humiliating experiences in my career.
Yes.
And I thought, but you know, I've made it. Things are all better now. And then, when I opened the book, there's a typo on the cover of my book. Actress of a certain age. Not today, Satine, not today.
Who judges a book by its cover?
Please, actually don't. Please don't.
Listen, I grew up in Kentucky, public school, so I thought this was how you spell certain. So I think you're okay.
Oh, see, I grew up in Texas where everything's fine.
Oh, sure. Sure it is. Oh, my gosh. I love how each of your chapters in your book is titled for a different actor's memoir.
Exactly, yeah. Because I read a lot of celebrity memoirs.
Yes,
Yeah.
you talk about it in here, and then there's a footnote at the bottom of the front page of the chapter that says when that actor has met mainstream fame.
Exactly, got their big break.
Yeah.
Because I always read the celebrity ones, and they don't always say exactly how old they are. Then I have to go get a calculator, look up IMDb, and then check it out and figure out how old they were, and then compare it to how old I am when I'm reading the book. And spoiler alert, it was never a consoling math equation.
That was such a unique detail. What made you want to share that?
Well, when I got this opportunity to write a celebrity memoir with the really loose definition of the word celebrity, I wanted to, you know, rely on the fact that I have read all of these memoirs, and I also wanted to write it for other people who maybe committed the cardinal sin of aging past 40 without realizing all of the dreams that they wanted in their life. And have a little bit of hope in it. So I talk about how compare invites despair.
Yes.
Yeah, and I did come up with that on my own. I didn't. It's a pretty hack cliche, actually.
That should go in your next memoir.
Yeah.
I think that.
But it'll say compare invites despair.
Oh, who was your publisher?
Oh, you want me to say it out loud? Exactly. It was some girl at Starbucks. And I said, Jeff, I was like, it doesn't start with an H. What are you doing? Anyway.
Oh, my God. So your IMDb reads like a comedy sizzle reel of all-time great comedies, but I think most people know you from your beautiful work on Somebody Somewhere.
Ah, thank you. Yes, I love that show.
It is such a beautiful show. It is so funny and so heartfelt. Tell me, if people haven't seen it, tell us what it's about.
Oh, well, you should see it.
You should see it. See it.
Yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what? Leave now. Go see it. We'll wait here.
Yeah, it's on, you know, Max or HBO. I don't know what. HBO Max, and it's about people in Kansas who have found their family, and it's also about being queer in the Midwest and being someone who isn't giving up on yourself, which is a lot of what the book is about too. And so, yeah, it's good. And it's not like rewatching Grey's Anatomy. It's not like a big commitment. It's only 3 seasons. 1 season is less than an Avatar movie.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It's food for the soul. It really feels so good to watch it.
Oh.
It is such a joy. I loved your This Is Church moment, and you talk about it in your book as well. Yeah. Tell us what was behind that moment in the show.
Well, it was just an improvisation I did that did make it into the final edit. And I'm not bragging about it, but I did do that. And it felt right because it was this scene about these friends who were hanging out and were joyful and were finding each other. And my character is involved in the church, but is having some weirdness with church. And he's saying, this moment is church, this moment where we're hanging out together and being together and having community. That's what my church is. And I think that that's true of me, too, and beautiful, I think, for all of us, right?
Yes.
And especially right now.
Especially right now.
Times are rough.
Yeah, they are. And you talk about growing up in the church in Texas. You grew up Lutheran.
Yep.
And you have this beautiful chapter in your book that talks about when you came out to your church as a 22-year-old, and you wrote this beautiful speech. It was so moving. There are so many queer youth in this country that are having a hard time under attack right now. What would you say to those 22-year-old younger Jeffs that are out there struggling with that in, say, Texas or other parts of the country? What would you say to them?
Well, I would just say, I'm sorry, and we got your back. And I think, we're in Pride Month, and it's a time to celebrate, but it's also a time to protest and a time to gather together and lead with compassion and hope and protection for especially the most vulnerable among us.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. That's beautiful. You also have a chapter in your book, kind of off of that, you talk about being bullied in junior high.
Can you believe that?
Well, let me just tell you, as a perpetual volunteer hall monitor, I see you, I am with you.
I thought you were going to say as a perpetual bully.
Yes. No, that's just what I became. You talk about how even to this day you were teased for how you carry your books,
right.
And even to this day you think about how you carry your books.
You're right. And who even has books anymore?
Right?
Although this one's good.
Yeah,
but yeah,
this one is
I
good.
used to carry them like this, and then a bully said, "You carry your books like a girl." And so now I always carry things down here, and it sticks with you for the whole life, and that's why it's important to protect those kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's scissors. And you talked about like what helped you get through that time.
My mom.
Yeah.
I had a good mom, and I actually dedicate the book to good parents because everywhere, not just my mom, because who cares about my mom, right? But I think that providing that safe space, showing your kid that they are loved no matter what, that it really is unconditional, it allows them a foundation that even when the bad things roll in, which they will inevitably do, you're still secure enough to go out there. And I had a great mom, and she had a great Texas accent, which you can hear me impersonate in the audiobook.
Oh, thank God for good moms out there.
Seriously, thank
them.
God for good moms.
You mentioned you have read hundreds of celebrity memoirs, so I'm wondering if you would play a little game with me.
Oh, okay.
If I name a celebrity,
Okay.
could you give me an interesting fact about their life?
Okay, I'll try.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. Barbara Streisand.
Okay, yes, which I listened to 48 hours and 15 minutes. I listened to it all. There's a lot of good ones. She's really obsessed with food. She will talk about a ravioli. That's a single ravioli, a raviolo. But the funniest fact is one of her husbands, John, who was a hairdresser, the way that they had their meet cute, he came over to do her hair, and as they were walking up the stairs, he goes, "Nice ass." And that's how they met and fell in love.
Wow, he's a keeper.
Yeah, Denny's done great.
Okay, speaking of nice asses, Rosie Perez.
You got to read Rosie Perez's book, but also you got to listen to that one because her metaphorical voice matches her literal voice, and it's mwah. She got Do the Right Thing because she was in a dance club in Bedford-Stuyvesant, and it was too crowded, so she got up on the speaker and started dancing, and Spike Lee was like, "You want to be in my movie?" And she's like, "I guess."
Good for her.
I know.
Not surprising. That
No,
is
not surprising at all.
Okay, Brooke Shields.
Brooke Shields. Well, the most surprising thing is Liam Neeson proposed marriage to her. Yes, I know. Hold on. Then he was like, I gotta go to LA, we'll come back and we'll get married. And then he never spoke to her again. To America's sweetheart and labor union leader, Brooke Shields.
Brooke Shields.
I know.
Someone ghosted Brooke Shields.
I know. Her book is great. You really should read it. I know I'm here to promote mine, but hers are good.
But also get hers. I am so glad you were here to promote this book.
you.
It is hilarious. It's heartwarming. It is so beautifully written. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know what?
Wow.
You take this. You hold this book however the you want. You deserve it.